Good morning. My name is Jeremy Johnson. I bring you greetings from Nashville, Tennessee in the USA. I'm happy to be part of CLC Kenya's Authors Club and the Nairobi International Book Fair. I wish I could be there in person with you. However, my travels require me to be elsewhere right now. I serve as the Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of Publishing and Distribution for Oasis International, which is a U.S.-based publishing ministry focused on solving the discipleship crisis in Africa. Oasis believes that there is a drought of relevant, contextualized content specifically addressing the needs of Africa. A Ghanaian proverb says, "Knowledge without wisdom is like water in the sand." Biblical truth that often comes from the West, that is not adapted to local contexts, can fall on deaf ears, disappearing like water in the sand. That's why we spent 7 years and millions of US dollars developing the Africa Study Bible and its 350 contributors from 50 nations, and why we continue to invest in the development of local African authors addressing specific African issues. The recent African leadership study illustrated that only 9.5% of those surveyed were able to identify an African Christian as their favorite author. However, the study also indicates that there will be an audience if books are published. But just being published isn't enough, my friends. The books must be good as well. A book filled with typographical errors, poor grammar, SMS language, and personal jargon not only make it difficult to read and discredit the author and publisher, but often renders the core message of a book idle. That is why I'm thrilled that CLC has started their Authors Club, and why I'm even more excited that you are here. Being here shows your dedication to your craft and a desire for excellence in your work. It's an honor to address you today as partners in ministry. I was asked to speak today on editorial excellence, which is wonderful because editorial excellence cannot be overemphasized. Imagine for a moment you walk into a bookstore, now preferably CLC's, but any bookstore will work for the illustration. You step into the store to see hundreds of books. A beautiful, engaging cover or that perfect title may get you to pick up the book. The back cover may get you to open it and glance at its pages, but only the writing will keep your interest long enough to ultimately convince you to spend your precious resources on the opportunity for that book, that author, that message to impact your life. The first time your reader sees the letter N instead of the word and, or the letter D instead of the word the or the, or PLS instead of please, you've lost her for life. When you confuse her with words or phrases that only you and your peers understand, you've lost her. When your message is split or circular, or fails to understand the questions you propose to solve, you've lost her. And once you've lost her, my friends, it's nearly impossible to get her back. No, editorial excellence cannot be overemphasized. Be aware that getting a manuscript into shape, however, takes time. It takes time and often review and rewriting to make sure it's engaging, it's thoughtful, it's entertaining and informative, that your writing has the ability to connect with the reader. This is the function of what we call the copy edit. The Society for Editors and Proofreaders says the aim of a copy edit is to ensure that whatever appears in public is accurate, easy to follow, fit for purpose, and free of error. So as you're writing your manuscript, you need to make sure you do so with the mind of the writer, but the eye of a copy editor. Now, that's not to say you have to be the perfect copy editor as well as a good writer, since the roles and skill sets are often very different. However, you do need to know the basics and be willing to potentially partner with someone that can help fill in the gaps. Some of the basics. Read your work with a fresh set of eyes, making sure that what you wrote actually makes sense. Remove cliches if at all possible, but be sure not to remove your voice. Understand the power of punctuation. Too many commas kill a sentence. Shorter sentences are more clear and easier to read and often help you tell your story better. Use a thesaurus to avoid repetition. Don't sacrifice your message in doing so, but look for ways to add diversity in your language. Cite your sources and your facts. Double check your work. Show integrity in your writing by honoring those that inspire you so you may inspire others. Don't take shortcuts. Please, don't take shortcuts. I encourage you to continue to review your manuscripts in this way so you achieve editorial excellence in your work and ultimately reach the readers you desire. This level of success will not happen overnight and may not even happen when you're with your first book, but with persistence it will happen. My friend Edna says this in her book, Conceive, Achieve for Teens. The best way to success is through the staircase, not the lift. This is the success you can attain and sustain. As you go through the staircase of success, you gain valuable experience at every stage that will help you stay on top when you finally get there. A young woman, wise beyond her years. I pray that the Lord provide you that success through your efforts, that your time today is beneficial, that your minds are open to new experiences and learnings, and I pray that your message reach the widest audience possible. Thank you. And may God bless you as you continue to seek His will.